You're listening to the Greeks Gridiron, live with Ethan Haristodoulou.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to more of the Greeks Gridiron. I am Ethan Haristodoulou, and today, continuing on with our draft grades, we are working with the Kansas City Chiefs and filling out their report card, talking about day 3, then moving into day 2, then capping it off with day 1 before we give our final grade to end things off. So my Chiefs fans, make sure you comment down below. How are you feeling about this year's draft class? Who do you like? Who do you not like? Are you happy with the number of selections they made and whatnot? All that good stuff. Comment down below. Let me know. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And let's discuss some KC Chiefs. So starting with day number 3, like I had mentioned, they had 5 selections altogether. They had 1 in the 4th round, 1 in the 5th round, and then 3 in the 7th round here. And I've got to say, overall, the entire draft class of the Kansas City Chiefs has been pretty solid. Even their worst selections are pretty good selections in terms of just potential and upside that you're selecting at. When you look at the 7th round to start, Nazeeh Johnson, the cornerback out of Marshall, their last selection here, a little bit smaller. He's 5'10", 199 pounds, but he's an absolute crazy athlete. 4.35 speed, 42-inch vertical. He'll mix it up as a tackler. He's a bit sloppy at it. And his play strength is a bit of a concern, but overall, you're drafting a guy like this because he's a freak of an athlete, and hopefully he can contribute even as a 4th, 5th, or 6th man. He doesn't need to start right away. I like the potential upside of him. I gave him a C+ because, like I said, sloppy tackler. His coverage stuff needs a little bit of work as well, but overall, a really good potential athlete to bring into the team. Then you're looking at Isaiah Pacheco, the running back out of Rutgers. This is an awesome pick. I graded this pick a B because I think it's a really good selection here. He fits the KC speed mold that they've got going on over there with the 4.37 speed. He has insanely fast feet. When you watch, it's crazy because I'm surprised he even made it into the 7th round. This is someone I would have thought would have been maybe taken in the 5th or 6th. The fact that he sat there in the 7th round at pick number 30 for the Chiefs to take, bonkers in my opinion. And like I said, insane fast feet. I mean, first move and one-on-ones are lethal. And he's an angry runner at that. He doubles as a solid pass catcher. And one thing that really stood out to me when I was watching his highlights, that 80-yard touchdown run he has against Michigan where, he flies up the middle, he's running to the right, running to the left, running back to the right to kind of lose the defender so he can get his way into the end zone. The guy has unbelievable stamina, speed, game-breaking type of ability, and you fitting him into the Chiefs offense. Again, he's a 7th round selection. I get it. He's probably not even going to do a ton, but the potential is there. And if he gets things going with Mahomes, this is a dangerous guy and a really good sleeper selection. B for this one because I like this guy. Jaylen Watson, another 7th rounder, their cornerback there. Complete opposite of what they got in the other cornerback, Nazeeh Johnson. He's more of a big size, big body, 6'2", 197 guy. Very aggressive in contested catches. He has the traits to be successful in a zone coverage scheme. He has shown struggles against route runners that are really good route runners, and he could struggle consistently in man coverage. So he's probably more of a zone guy in case someone needs to step out and whatnot. But ultimately, again, another potential type of player that you're bringing him in for, not necessarily a game breaker type of guy. He's in the 7th round, C+ grade for him. I do like the selection though, because cornerback was something they needed to address, and they went after it fairly heavy in this year's draft class. In round number 5, I can't really believe he went in round number 5 because he was a 3rd round prospect, offensive lineman Darian Kinnard. Again, I cannot believe he went in the 5th round to the Kansas City Chiefs. They wanted to add depth to the O-line, and they got a really good prospect here. 6'5", 322 pounds, massive arms at 35 inches. I mean, the guy makes pancakes for breakfast and also handles 1v1s really well. He's projected to be more so of a guard, but because of the fact that he played at tackle, it gives you versatility. Even if he ends up being predominantly a guard for you in emergency case situations, he can play right tackle. This is an excellent selection for the Chiefs. I gave the pick an A, and I can't believe that he was still available in the 5th round for them. He was supposed to be a day 2 guy and at worst top of the 4th, and somehow he fell to them at the top of the 5th. Excellent work by the KC Chiefs bringing him in. And then their 4th round selection here, the last of day 3. This guy gets a B+ here. Joshua Williams out of Fayetteville State University. Dude is massive. 6'3", 195 pounds. He shows really good ball control, solid tackler. He's not afraid to hit. He has really good game speed as well. And he has solid ball tracking. I mean, he has all the traits you want and someone who could potentially develop into a legit corner, and he's got the size and athleticism to go with it. The only real knock to his game is just, okay, well, his competition level isn't great. Well, we'll have to see if that ends up affecting him at all, but he's a 4th-round pick. He brings all the tools you need, and you just got to help sharpen those tools. And Joshua Williams in the 4th round, excellent selection, B+. My overall grade for day number 3, I settled at a B-. Like I said, their worst picks in this round, or in this day rather, all C+. Everyone else, B+, A, I mean B, really good day number 3 group of guys. A lot of really good potential coming out of those 5 selections there. And I'm excited to see how some of them end up turning into, like, what they end up doing for this Kansas City Chiefs defense and offense here. A lot of defensive picks, or defensive back picks per se. We'll have to see how they end up working their way into the rotation of the secondary. But I mean, just like an absolute haul of some solid players for the Chiefs here. Coming in for day number 2, you had 3 selections, a couple in the 2nd round, then you had a 3rd-round pick as well. Linebacker Leo Chanal out of Wisconsin. Another really good guy. Really good athlete, well-built, pound-for-pound strength is unbelievable. I saw that written about him in multiple things, and I mean, you just see the way that he plays. You really can't deny it. He shows some strength, and he's very well just like built, muscular kind of guy. Relentless play style allowed him to rack up some insane numbers his senior year. 115 tackles, 18.5 tackles for loss. He had 8 sacks, 2 fumbles like forced. The guy is a playmaking linebacker, and again, just another player that like somehow got to the Chiefs where they selected him, and I'm surprised that he was available. Like, just a head scratcher. But you shout out to them for getting it done. Excellent selection there. He was pick number 39. He was a compensatory guy, so he made it through the whole 3rd round, and like technically could have been a 4th-round selection if there weren't so many comp picks there in the 3rd. So B+ selection there. Great pick. Round 2 at pick number 30. Brian Cook, the safety out of Cincinnati, I gave this one a B+ as well. Former cornerback, so he brings good cover skills along with the fearless attitude to hit of a safety. Like, he's like an excellent combination. He plays with that NFL level of confidence you need to play with as a safety, and he's just an overall really good player. He's knocked for his reaction time to plays, and his anticipation sometimes isn't necessarily the best, but overall, the dude is a stud, and that Cincinnati secondary was no slouch. And I mean, yeah, he was on the back end, and Sauce Gardner got all the attention, but Brian Cook, no slouch. Check out his game tape. The guy's a good safety. He's played in numerous areas as well. This is a guy that, when you think of like, how were you going to replace Tyrann Mathieu? Brian Cook might potentially be the guy, especially if he catches on quick. Could be a solid safety in the back end for that secondary. Then the top pick in day number 2, wide receiver Skye Moore out of Western Michigan. I gave this selection a B here. I like Skye Moore, and a B is a good grade. I feel like the way I said that, it makes it sound like the B was a bad grade. It's not, but a lot of people are kind of worried about his size and his ability to actually make plays. The guy has been consistently productive in all 3 of the last 3 seasons he's played in. He brings really good athleticism. He can create really good separation with his skills. He does need to clean up his routes and become a better route runner, specifically in his cuts coming in and out of routes. But overall, do I think he's going to be like Tyreek Hill 2.0 for this offense? Nobody knows that. I'm not going to answer that question. I don't even think the Chiefs are going to sit there and answer that question. That's a ridiculous question to ask. But I will say, if he's being brought in to kind of be that game-breaking speed guy, similar to what Tyreek Hill's role was that he carved out in the offense, he needs to become a really good route runner. And that was one of his criticisms, is his routes do need to get cleaned up. One thing that Tyreek Hill did not get credit for playing in that Chiefs offense is his ability to run routes. I have had people tell me he's not a great route runner. Other people seem to think he's not a great route runner. But when you look at what Tyreek Hill does, he is one of the better route runners in the league. He's not just a fast guy. It's not, oh, I'm running in a straight line and I'm faster than everyone else. No, he's a legit dude. Like, he is a complete and well-rounded wide receiver, and that includes his route running ability. If you want Skye Moore to be that Tyreek Hill replacement, that is something he needs to be working at all offseason, and honestly, just like the remainder of your career. Davante Adams said it himself. If you want to be a great wide receiver, go out there and start running routes every single day. None of the cute crap that you see on social media and whatnot that these receivers post to try to show that they're being, that they're working on their game. Go out there, throw some pads on, get a helmet on, and just start running routes and pretend you're in a game. That is what will make you better as a wide receiver when it comes to that sort of stuff. Get out there and start running those routes. I like Skye Moore. We'll have to see what he turns into, but if you want him to be that Tyreek Hill replacement, he has the athleticism. He needs to get that route running going. I gave the overall day 2 a B+. I'm excited to see what, again, this group of players does. The Chiefs just overall, man, they completely swung and hit during this draft class. They picked some really good guys. Then going into day number 1, you had 2 selections. Trent McDuffie, the cornerback out of Washington, cannot believe he fell to them at 21. And then edge rusher George Karlaftis, I think maybe did not quite get the respect he deserved coming out of this draft class, but both of these guys, really solid players. Karlaftis is a big dude at 6'4", 266, fellow Greek. Shout out to you, my friend. Extremely physical player and a high motor and excels in the pass rush. He's a very physical power type of guy, not afraid to just get in there and start mauling with those offensive linemen. He shines more so in the run, in the pass, but does not really show up so much in the run game as much as you'd like him to. But, I mean, you can't be great at everything, I guess. Some players are. Maybe he has some things he needs to work on, but he is more of like the premier edge type of pass rushing guy you're bringing him in for, which is honestly what the Chiefs really needed more help with anyways. They needed to get a more effective pass rush, especially the way you see this AFC has kind of built itself up this offseason. I think everyone in the league realized we need better pass rushers to combat what's going on with these quarterbacks and these offenses in the AFC, and you've seen some teams kind of make the moves. This is another move regarding that. I gave Karlaftis an A-. Excellent selection for them at pick number 30. You could argue maybe a little bit high for the selection. I think some people thought maybe he was a high day 2 pick, and maybe he was, but I still think it's a team need that you addressed, and you got a good guy for it. Then their first pick in the NFL draft, Trent McDuffie. I gave the grade an A. I mean, you need help in the secondary, and Trent McDuffie does everything really, really well as a cornerback. I mean, he's very patient, well-balanced player, solid tackler. He can handle the press man needed to be a cornerback number 1 in this league. When size is your biggest concern, yet you know that he plays bigger than his size, you got a good one at the cornerback spot. I think Trent McDuffie is going to be an excellent addition for this defense, and honestly, depending on how good he ends up becoming will determine just how much this team can do in terms of defensive play call, because if he becomes a true cornerback 1 and he can handle those one-on-one situations better than most in the league, it'll really open up and allow the Chiefs to get really creative with what they can do defensively. I think we look at the Chiefs and we think how offensively creative they are. A cornerback like Trent McDuffie, if he pans out and becomes what people project him to be, if you have a cornerback who can stick on the number 1 all game, it opens up the defensive playbook even more to allow you to really do some fancy stuff on defense. So we'll see what they do. I gave the pick an A. Day 1 for the Chiefs also gets an A as well. This draft class from top to bottom is built out really well. They have some really good potential picks in day 3. They also have some really good like meat and potatoes guys, and also potential day 1 starters going in days 2 and 1. There's overall just a really good draft class, and I don't think I can stress that enough. And Chiefs fans, if you're excited, I think you have every right to be. I'm awfully and honestly very jealous of this draft class. I think it's a really well-rounded and put together group of players. My overall grade to end things off, A- for the entire draft when I averaged everything out. Excellent group of guys. Really excited to see what they do. My Chiefs fans, again, let me know what you guys are thinking of this draft class. Are you really excited? Or is maybe there a player or two you're really hoping pans out for you guys? Let me know what you think. But I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good one.